Good old days.
Good old days.
We were all just.
My dad was there for a lot of them.
Oh yeah, I remember. We were there for a lot of them. We danced till the
We were talking
last
about,
of the last.
we're like, remember when we used to come and picnic down here? when we were younger?
Oh, thank you.
Sam, did you get a resolution?
3 a.m. Saturday morning.
No.
You're resolved.
You beat him down.
Well, at 3 a.m. he was probably delirious, So.
Well, he hadn't had.
So, we're streaming.
Oh, sorry. Whoop.
I mean, it's a good story.
It is a good story.
All right, if we're up and running, hot mic. Welcome to commission meeting. Today is Monday, the 24th of June, 2024. We're here for our 9 a.m. meeting. This morning, could I ask, Bruce, would you offer us an invocation this morning? And Sammy, since you're up, will you lead us in the pledge? Turn my phone off. Well, it's a good plan.
Father in heaven, we humbly bow our heads today, Father, to give you thanks. We're so thankful for all the rights and privileges we have in living in this great land. Father, we love Iron County. We love all the beauties and wonders of it. We love the people here. Please bless us that we'll be able to make good decisions that will better the generations to come. Father, we love thee, we love thy Son, and we say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Find my writing stick. All right. We've got two sets of minutes to.
Well, I can do both motions, can't I?
Yeah.
I'll just do.
So let's. What's the first one?
May 28th.
May 28th. So let's have a motion.
I
for the
would
May 28th.
move to approve the minutes for 5/28/2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I'm going to abstain
because
I
you
was
wasn't
absent.
here. Yep. And then I would move to approve the minutes of June 10th, 2024.
You'll need to.
And, oh, I'll second. I got confused. I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain. I wasn't here.
Okay.
That was the trickiest
That was kinda
voting we've done in a
tricky.
while, as far as my notes here.
And then claims.
Yeah, if someone would like to make a motion for claims while I'm writing my name.
Move to approve the claims of payment from June 10th, 2024 to June 23rd, 24.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Those are approved. All right, those for John. I think we have one whopping department report this
Yeah.
morning besides the commissions.
It's for-
Please,
Okay, we can start with,
stretch it out.
I'm pretty quick.
talk as long as you would like.
Road Department, first and foremost, I'd like to publicly thank Ryan Riddle and his team. They helped me get the signboards out for the people pushing cows up Parowan Canyon, and they put them out, took them down. And I had a lot of calls saying thank you, it helped. But thanks to Ryan and his team for helping me with that. We were chipping, and I just didn't have enough hands, and so he took that on, and voluntarily, I might add. So thank you, Ryan, and your
Yes,
team.
He does a lot of for the county.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, we've been. Also, I don't know. It just seems like a lot lately. We've been working with other departments a lot and relying on one another. The road, landfill, and sheriff all together are working on fixing and improving the shooting range, and it's just been a real good cooperative effort. We're building the road out. When I say we, the sheriff's department's got people hauling the material, and then we bladed it off as a road department, and they're hauling the stuff from the landfill and using landfill loader. So when it's possible, it just makes a lot of sense to work together, and there's quite a bit of
Yeah.
that been going on in the last
Mike
3 months.
Worthen is also working on
Yep, Mike.
that agreement with the BLM. We the property line was a little too close for part of the shooting range, and so we had some shells that were not quite, some bullets that were going
Yeah,
where
some
we
stray
were a little
bullets.
concerned, and so they're working on that, and we're hoping we can get that taken care of. So.
Well, and last
Shout out
Wednesday,
to him
yeah.
too for doing all that.
He's been helping me with the Gold Springs Road, and we flew them the trails that he wants to maintain on Wednesday with our guys. And so, yeah, it's just been it seems like more than ever there's been a collaborative effort with all the departments. We helped the firehouse out in Newcastle with their parking lot, and it's paved and looks good. It's
Beautiful.
yeah, it really does. It looks nice. There's been a lot of collaboration with other departments, so I want to tell all of them thank you, but especially Ryan saved me on Friday. So, well, he actually put them out on Wednesday, then
And
took
took
them
'em
down
down
on
on
Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday.
Okay, on the road department, we are doing chipping. We're just finished chipping 7700 West, so we'll have to sweep it off. We'll have to do the seal coat and then paint the lines on it, so we're not done, but it does look a lot better. The dust is off. We went from there to Burrell Highway, and we got Burrell Highway swept off on Friday. A couple guys worked some overtime. Well, it wasn't really overtime because we had the holiday, so they banked the holiday. That's why it worked out for us. And we're out on the bench road in Newcastle right now. We're going to go from there over to 5700, the belt route. Oddly enough, that seems like we just barely got that done, but that road was built in 2013. Isn't that
No, I
something
can't
to
believe
think
that.
about? That just seems like a 3-year-old road.
Now, which road's that, Bruce?
The belt route
new
that goes
belt
from
route.
5700
The
west.
southern end of the belt route over to 56.
We started that just as I left
Crazy.
engineering and
An
came to here.
11-year-old road.
I know.
That's something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Seems like just 2 years ago.
I know.
Still seems brand. It's like the new
Brand
road.
new. Yeah,
Wow.
crazy.
So we got to
Holding up
chip
pretty
that.
Good?
But
Held up pretty good, or?
yeah, there's some spots that we had to skim patch. It blown out in a couple of places.
Shoulders holding up okay? It's
Yeah,
narrow.
shoulders are actually good.
Good.
Shoulders are actually good. So,
That'll be nice to get that one done.
yep, we're going there next, and then we've got 2300, part of 2300. That's Airport Road below, Flying L to Mid Valley, and then the same on Lund, from about 2400 down.
Bruce, what's this? I noticed this year Cedar City hired a company to do a lot of their seal on their
The
roads.
seal code, yeah.
They didn't really. It was more of a sand than a
Yeah.
chip. Is that? How does that? What do you think of that?
It
process?
works great. We'd love to do it. We're hoping to do it in Monarch Meadows, but
Is it less expensive than we can do for?
no, it's more.
More.
It's a lot cleaner. It's a lot
It's
cleaner.
smoother too, right?
Yeah. You could ride your
complaints
skateboard or
that-
your bike down it, push a stroller. You get kind
We
of that
get-
vibrating effect on Chip with the stroller. Your kid goes to sleep pretty quick. So
On
for
those-
subdivisions, it's way better. And it's just a rejuvenation, rejuves that asphalt. We're going to have to go in there and skim patch some of the holes. Because again, that road was built in 2008. Those are 2008
Yeah.
9 roads.
What do you call that stuff?
Slurry seal.
Okay.
It's a slurry seal. It's mixed. It's similar to the stuff we use, but it has sand that's mixed right into it. And then some people call it a sweep seal, slurry seal.
It holds up pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. That's what most subdivisions, most towns use.
They did our street with it, and it looks nice.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different kind. Getting the kind and getting it figured out is the hard part, and then getting them to do it. We thought we had a contract on it 2 years ago, and then it just fell through. So we're still working on them. But yeah, it works good. We're still working on the realignment of Gold Springs. George has been doing a really good job helping us with the funding on that from FEMA. So that was part of what Mike and I worked on Wednesday on them trails. It's all one piece. I'm getting an education in FEMA. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
it's a federal
it's,
agency. That's the
yeah,
problem.
it's kind of mind blowing the thought process that goes behind it. So, as soon as we're done chipping, then we got to go finish up on Highway 14, the turn in and turn out on that parking lot. They're scheduled to pave that around the 25th of July.
Are those approaches the way they're going to be? Because I drove up there, they look nice.
Yeah, we just got to cut the edge down. So I believe it's going to be a 6-inch. Well, it'll only be a 3-inch asphalt, but 3 inches of asphalt, I believe, on each side, and then they'll pave the approach into the parking lot and part of the parking lot. So it'll be nice. If you go up there in the wintertime, it's tough to find somewhere safe to park for snowmobilers. So it is a good thing. It really is a good thing.
Yep.
Our budget's on track at the road department, pretty good. There's going to be a big. I'm trying to get the bids figured out for crushing of some type 2. We've got a couple roads in Enoch that we're going to try to chip this year. And then we just need type 2 in certain places for road maintenance.
You are going to try to do that in Enoch by the Children's Justice Center?
Yeah, so it'll be them 2 roads.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be on our 2025 chipping schedule.
Yeah.
So we're going to hopefully haul that type 2 from the yard over. But that's our that's next year's project. But we'll have to have that for this winter.
Yeah.
Whatever happened with the pit in Pearland and the worry about? I know you guys looked at some different sites.
You mean where we're going to put that in for water retent or
Yeah,
water
yeah. I
recharge?
wondered if anything really went.
I think Dan's going to start digging that line over to it. It's mostly kind of a spring and winter thing. But there's a spot that we can go. The county actually owns, I think it was 15 acres right to the north of that, and that we could start, and we just have a dam. We just flip-flop it. We'll put the water in one side when we
We just
need
had
it.
some overburden that we
Send
had
it
to
one way or
take
the
off,
other.
right?
Yeah, we looked at different sites that Parowan City had.
None of them were
I went
quite as
over
good.
and dug them myself, and there's just so much overburden. Some of them didn't even have gravel. There was 2 of them had the prettiest gravel you've ever seen but then it runs out. So we explored our options. I think we'll just move the overburden off the property that we have.
How
and
much
keep it
overburden's
dug.
there?
I think it's like 5 feet. So it's a lot, but it's still worth moving.
Get in the topsoil business?
Yeah, get in the topsoil business. Take it over to the fairgrounds, plant some grass. So, our loader, as far as equipment goes in the road department, our loader, the transmission died on Thursday. So that'll be big. That'll be a big expense coming up, but it had 12,000 hours, so it's probably about right.
Is that normal? No.
You hope not, but that's what they claim. They put a 12,000 hour kind of, you could use this for that long. So I'm betting that'll be a $20,000 fix minimum. It's our big loader.
Is it your deer?
John Deere, yeah, 724.
So you take it over to the John Deere.
Yeah, we'll probably have to pull
Still.
it down there.
Yeah.
We took the drive lines off and put it on the transport and hauled it to Cedar, and Matt's gonna just double check and make sure that's exactly what it is before we take it down there. But we pulled the filter, cut the filter, and there's a lot of metal in it.
Oh yeah.
So we did that on site on Thursday. Moving on to, unless anybody has questions of roads, any road questions?
What about Webster Flat, the cattle guard? Have you guys done that yet?
Well, we got it lifted up and it's there. We was going to try to move it further up the hill.
So it wouldn't slide again?
Yeah, but so that's a Forest Service permit, and Paul Nelson has that permit, and he asked that we didn't, and his reasonings made sense enough to us that we said, okay, we're going to leave it here, but we're going to have to go up there and probably work that hill over and put some rock in and to make a long-term fix. But it's fixed for now. It was a 3 or 4 day job. We had a few things on the mountain that we had to work through, but we got them done and open.
I think it's probably just going to keep sliding, isn't it? I mean,
It sure had. Everywhere we've touched stuff, it slides, and that's why we don't want to go put it on the top, because we think it's going to slide again. So we're going to try to hopefully shore that up with some rock down below, and even 150 yards off that hill to the east, the whole hill's moving. So
Oh yeah, that's hard. There's all those springs everywhere.
there's a lot of water. And then when
I
we
have to
dug that
just-
road, when we fixed that road along there, we found a lot of the blue clay that just holds that water.
You might just have to do kind of a temporary fix every year if it's going
And
to
it
go
could
every
be.
year, right? I mean,
Yeah, and it's not. I mean, it's 2 days, but he made the point. Everywhere you guys have done something, it slides, and that's true. So he said it's really hard. The sheep always want to come up, and he said I don't think I can keep them off of the road right there. So if you'd leave it down, and it made sense to us. So we thought, and he knows, right? If you're in the sheep business, you know what your sheep do and don't do. We thought it was a valuable point of view.
What about up on right hand, that by the pond of Linford's?
Oh, it fell again a little
Did
bit.
it follow?
Yeah, it moved a lot less,
Yeah.
but it still moved.
but isn't the road far enough away? It won't matter, right? Or will
It took the shoulder a little bit. Yeah, it took the shoulder just a little bit. 3-4 feet maybe, but it only sunk down a couple of inches.
It didn't fall clear into the
No.
pond.
It's going to be okay, you think?
I think eventually it'll stabilize.
Yeah.
It'll
Anytime you
stabilize.
mess
And
with it like
Rich
that.
talked with Linford about that. So Linford knows, and Linford knows and has been good about it. So
He has.
yeah, he really has. So.
What about Summit Mountain? I had somebody ask me about.
So we got to
getting it
clean the cattle
graded.
guards. We didn't get there as soon as we just couldn't because of the weather. There still was really muddy when Travis
Now
went
you're
up there last.
chipping, so you don't
And
have.
now we're right in the middle of chipping. Hopefully Garrett is going to help us out. Maybe Garrett and I can get up there and clean. It's going to take 2 days to clean the cattle guards up there. There's some on the lower basin as well.
Yeah, the lower basins, what I had asked about. The
Clark called
roads,
me
they
and
said
showed
it's
me.
bad. And,
Yeah, you can just walk across it. It's not even like a cattle guard. It's
Yeah.
weeds are growing up.
yeah. Okay.
So we do got to do a little work on the mountain, but we'll be busy until the 20th of July with chipping, and then
You
we'll
can
get
go
the
to
chipping
mountain.
done, and then we'll have to flush coat it. So, but we're gonna turn the blades loose again. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but the roads are pretty dry.
They're bad. We hope we get some moisture because
It rained good at my
Lund
house last
Highway's terrible.
Did it?
night. Yeah, it did.
There's about 500 yards of the freeway that got good rain by Summit.
Yeah, we got a
So
little
we could
uptown.
use some moisture in our roads for sure,
Yeah.
and our ground.
That helps. Yep.
Anything else on roads? Moving on to landfill, that's the next page. We're down a guy, and Scott, our mechanic, he's out for shoulder surgery for 3 months at least. Excuse me. We're being plagued with fires. It's unbelievable out there this year. We had another one on Thursday. Luckily,
wow.
Jeremy was there and was able to get it out. But there's just a lot of batteries. Everything has batteries in now. Your toothbrush has batteries. Everything has a rechargeable battery. The
You
one we
run
found
over them
on
and it
Thursday
starts on fire.
was a hoverboard. We found the hoverboard.
You ask, I mean, I know you can't catch them all, but can you ask people when they come through, hey,
do.
you know, you do that?
We do. But they
But
think
what do
they're
you
gonna
do
be-
with them?
We got a big pile of them. And Jeremy has done a really good job working on a place to source to take them.
Oh.
But it's horribly expensive. Like a 50-gallon barrel's almost $20,000.
Oh my word.
We got to do something with them. We got a
What if
pile.
can you just collect them and then you go dig a big hole, bury them in the landfill?
Yeah, maybe.
And
We're
then
working
not
on
running over them and,
We're working on that. So it's not
That's-
just us that's plagued with this. It's every landfill, especially in arid areas. Anything south of Nephi is kind of working through the same thing we are.
Besides tires, that's
Yeah,
a whole
besides
other
tires.
issue.
Yeah, but batteries are they're killing us in the fire business. And then it's hot and arid and dry. You know, if it's a little bit moist. Saturday, I guess it would have been more than that. Shelly and I took some stuff out just in my pickup, and I could hear a snapping. And it was a smoke detector, but it was down probably 6 inches. It was just sitting there arcing, snapping, and we took it out, put it in. But
Wow.
you can't, it's really hard to check everyone. We need the public's help to say, we've taken the batteries out of this. But then again, what do you do with it? That's the hard part. We've got to find an avenue. Hopefully the state will help us come up with some stuff. It was a point of topic at the National SWANA Convention this year, and Jeremy went, got some contacts, tried to figure out what to do with these batteries is a hard thing. The little ones that like you put in your flashlight aren't the big deal. It's the rechargeable ones that are really, really hard. Our computer program is getting close. IT has been helping Jeremy. There's a lot of information to put over and get all our computers to be the same, but it'll recognize your license plate. It's just coming into 2023 or 2024, right? So that's coming, but probably not until the end of July. We should be full on with that one. Our garbage truck for 2023 still isn't here yet, but hopefully the end of July it'll be here, they said. The next pages are that's a snapshot of what's as of yesterday, I guess, from January 1st, 2024 to 5/23 of 2024. And we're down a little bit in revenue. But the big thing is over here on the right-hand side, on the bottom it says report grand totals, and we're 14,753 people have come into the landfill so far this year. That's how many vehicles have come in. And a year ago there was 14,100, so we're up about 600 cars, 100 cars a month kind of thing. We're getting
Wow.
busy. It's down in there. I know this isn't the place for it, but we're going to have another guy down in the pit just directing traffic, and it's called a spotter. We're at that point. We had an accident just the other day. That's why we have a place open. But there's just so much going on down there that you got to have a guy directing traffic, because the guy running the compactor can't do both anymore. It's
Too much.
just too busy. That's
Have
I don't know if you do that math at 14,753. It's about 1 every 3 minutes. There's a person coming in. So
Have you noticed a difference in the new compactor?
absolutely, it's
Have you?
yes,
Is it really?
yeah, it's a big difference. It's absolutely going to save us a ton of money. Yeah. Any questions on landfill? Thank you for the opportunity to come today, and I'm going to stick around for a little while. I got some stuff in the next one, so if you have any other questions, come find me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Shalon, did you sneak in the back?
She did.
Are you ready? Yeah, absolutely. The
Bruce?
carryover from last meeting.
Bruce? Could I get your paper report? I just need one for our minutes. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I know, right?
That's his job, right? Put me on the spot. All right. So I don't have lots to say today, which is a good thing. So our overall budget is at 38%. This was at the end of May, because that's when we were supposed to give our commission report, but we had a high risk situation at the court 2 weeks ago, so we missed that commission meeting. So 38%, which for the end of May is really good. I'm really proud of our overtime budget. That is something that we typically are pushing 100% by this time of the year. So where we're seeing that we don't have as many FMLAs that have gone out. We have actually, I hate to even say it, but we're only down 2 deputies right now. So we do have 2 pending that we think are leaving us, but so that's been a great thing. Our costs have stayed under $1, which we weren't seeing that last year. So that's been, $1 per mil. I apologize. So that's been a really good thing. Our inmate numbers are staying up, pretty consistent. We did take, at the first of the year, we kind of saw a drop in county inmates, and so we took on a few more federal inmates because we were being helpful to the feds, and our county inmates are starting to climb, so we've told the feds to cut back a few on our federal numbers. Our work crew, of course, is always just doing great. They do fencing all over, most of the time out there on 7700, but they've been at the landfill in Parowan Court. They did a tree removal, which up at Wood Ranch. Vacancies, we already talked about that. We were able in the last quarter to hire 5 deputies and 1 clerical. So we were booking it, because to get somebody through the the background process and to get that many deputies hired. So I have 2 in the academy and 2 that just graduated the academy. So we're really looking forward to that. That's really about it. We've been doing our planning meetings for the sheriff's complex, and that's been exciting. But other than that, that's about the jail. You have any questions?
I just noticed she called it Wood Ranch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Good job.
I'm very careful of that, and I correct people all the time.
Good.
So,
You're getting them trained now.
Getting them trained.
yep, I listen sometimes.
Thanks, Sean.
Oh, thank you
Thanks,
for
Shalon.
everything you do. You guys rock.
Be sure to tell the work crew how appreciative we are. They're awesome. They do such a great job, and that's really helpful for the county.
In love with his new trailer.
Oh, good.
He got a new truck this year too, so he's
Is he pretty happy?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
So he feels very appreciated right now, and it's because he works hard. So
He does. He deserves it. Yep, for sure.
That fence they installed at the fairgrounds is just really
It's so
nice.
beautiful.
Perfect.
Yeah, he did a great job. Yep.
All right. Whoever wants to go first.
You go first, Paul.
All right.
You were gone last time.
I was gone, so I don't have a ton of stuff, but I do have a few things. We had a meeting with Cedar City, Enoch Water District. Cedar City is spending $5 or $6 million to they're going to put in a cloth filter at the wastewater treatment plant to turn the type 2 effluent from a type 2 to a type 1, and then they're going to pipe it up to areas where they can use to irrigate it on the lake on the hill, and water more, and use that better than, and because they've had to augment, like the lake on the hill, they've had to augment a lot of times with just regular culinary,
Sure.
and so that'll be a lot better. And one thing that we've got to decide as a county, and it was interesting because the mayor's saying, hey, we're spending this much, and about 10% of that is the county, and about 10% is Enoch. And Enoch has actually planned to head well with the secondary system in some of their new subdivisions, so they plan to use their share for that. So they'll come up with funds. Actually, with the county, it's a unique perspective because it's really even though the 10% they say it's a county, it really most of it belongs to the water district, because the people that contribute to the wastewater treatment plant are most of those that are hooked to the Central Iron County Water Conservancy District system, and so it's their water rights. So technically, that belongs to them, not the county. There are some circumstances where maybe somebody's on a well and they contribute to the sewer system that goes to the wastewater treatment plant that would be ours. We've got to decide who's
Percentage.
the percentage. Somebody a lot smarter than me has got to figure all that out. And I did put on the table that, hey, the part that we do own obviously has some value, a lot of value.
Yeah.
And could we do I just threw it out there, could we do some horse trading with maybe trading some of that water or all of it for the water shares we need for the jail?
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
start thinking about that.
Yeah.
So that's something. I don't know if it'll come to fruition, but that's something we talked about.
So, Paul, I was just curious.
Uh-huh.
It seems like there might be a fairness issue there, just because my office does the billing, and our folks pay every bit as much as the Cedar folks do for the sewer services. And is Cedar City using their general fund for those improvements, or are they using revenues from the monthly bills? If they're using the monthly bills, for us to take money out of our general fund to pay, that means our folks are paying twice.
Well,
for
I
that.
told them we weren't interested in coughing up any money
Okay.
towards this project. I was speaking on behalf of the commission, but I just said we've got a jail to build. We don't have the money to really. The county, we don't have parks. We don't have those things to really use that water anyway. So I don't think we would have the appetite to put any money towards it.
Okay.
In my
I just
opinion. don't know what
thought,
you guys
because our
think.
folks pay the same bill as the Cedar residents.
Correct.
So I know that's kind of two separate things, but I was worried about the fairness of having to subsidize that the other way if they're using their revenue from the actual monthly bills. So,
The challenge with that is they can use that water in the summertime, but then you've got all that winter water that has to be stored somewhere. So we've got to build a storage facility to store that water in the wintertime. And because if you're going to pay to treat it to type 1, you need to store it and then be able to pump it out and use it in the
get use out of it.
summer. And so there's some talk about building a pond on the Clark's property or somewhere out by the plant, or piping it in and putting it into the Western Rock pit or some of those things. So there's lots of discussion on that. I wanted to, and this really isn't our project, but I've had a lot of people comment. So for the record, the construction that Phil Schmidt's doing on just before the new overpass, over the freeway there on Coal Creek, Phil Schmidt's been doing that construction on both sides. That is not the Water District's project. That is the Coal Creek Irrigation Company. That's agreement they've made with Phil Schmidt. And what he did on the south side, he excavated that out, and that's something Raymond Prestwich years ago wanted to do, where they run water into it it drops some of the sediment, and then it goes out a spillway and cleans the water up.
The ranchers with their
Cleans
with
the
that
water
stuff,
up so that
cleans
they
it
can
up.
irrigate better. And the agreement that I am aware of is Phil, in exchange, he gets to keep the gravel for doing the excavation, and then he has a 5-year contract to keep it clean, which is the big
And
thing
he'll
there.
take that,
And so
which
they'll.
is a really good deal.
It is. It's a real good deal, and
Really
it's
good
it's
deal
and
for
he does
both of
such
them.
beautiful work. It looks really nice, and
Really
it's
does.
and we'll get some recharge out of those two. And he's doing it on the north side of the deal right now, and so that's. A lot of people have asked me about it, thinking it's our project, but it's not. It's between the irrigation company and Phil Schmidt.
What is it? Coal
Coal
Creek?
Creek Irrigation Company, and that's Raymond. Is Raymond still? Is he still the water master over there? I don't know if he's. I think there's some others involved in that too, but
Yeah, Jason Dodds is involved with that, and John Sherritt also.
okay. One other thing I wanted to mention, I ran into a really interesting guy. Mike, you'd be interested in this, and I didn't get a chance to get a hold of you, but I had to introduce you to him sometime. We've got in the cabinet business, we've got an installer that is having some health problems, and so I filled in. It's probably been a month ago. I went up to Alton and installed a little cabinet job for my son, and the owner, his name was John Johnson, a really fascinating guy. He is. He has a company called Ace Canine, and he puts his systems in all of the sheriffs and police cars that have canines, and it monitors the temperature of the vehicle. And if the temperature of the vehicle gets too high, it alerts dispatch or the officer. Really nice guy, and he anyway, he was in town one day, and I had Sheriff Carpenter and Darren Adams, and then. Oh shoot, Pollock, is it? Who's the PIO for Cedar Cities?
Clint Pollock.
Clint Pollock, yeah. And Clint was there, but I introduced him to him. Super nice guy. He does a lot of promotional videos, and he wants to be part of the community. They live there full time now. They used to travel. Their company's based out of Florida, but he's going to be living up there full time now, and he wants to be involved in.
Cool.
If you guys have an activity, he's really good at drones and promotional stuff. He doesn't want to. He's not out to sell anything to anybody, but he wants to be involved with law enforcement and especially the canine stuff and to give back. And super good guy.
Awesome.
I'll have to introduce you
Great.
to him sometime.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But I wanted to mention that. But that's all I have.
Okay. The fair building is going forward. We're so excited about the facelift that it's getting. One of the biggest challenges with that fair building was the leaking roof that's been going on for a long time. And we're getting a new roof, and that's going to be awesome because it leaks. And, that's the only fair building we have. We need to, keep it going. I attended on the 20th, I attended a USU extension. They had an ag appreciation dinner, and they talked about mental health for farmers and ranchers. These droughts have been very difficult, and it's not as lucrative as it used to be for a long time. And of course, now, the drought, we've come out of the drought a little bit, but we'll go back in, as we all know. And cattle prices are up right now, but that doesn't mean they'll stay up. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. And they said that if you know somebody that is having any kind of mental health problems as farmers and ranchers, the University of Utah Extension Office, contact them and they can get you some help. They have some grants and things that they haven't had before. They realized there was a problem with that, and so so that's a really nice program that they've come up with. I just wanted to mention that and thank my kids. We had a 50th wedding anniversary, which is pretty epic, I think. And Paul was a part of that. One of my grandkids called him and had us set up to go meet with Mike Lee, and I was all excited about meeting with Mike Lee, and it wasn't even that. That was the joke. So anyway, it was wonderful, and thank my kids for putting that on for us. I didn't think that they were doing anything, and I was kind of hurt, and so I said the one day, well, we've been busy and we haven't really done anything. Do you guys want to go to dinner with us? And they're like, oh yeah, that'd be fine. Call us later. And anyway, they did it on Friday night instead of Saturday. So, and that's so Matt has a hard time remembering any holidays or birthdays or anniversaries. And so he always tells everybody, oh, it's easy to remember. It's the longest day of the year, which is the 21st, which really, it's the 22nd is our anniversary. So our kids think it's the 21st because he tells everybody.
Say if that puts him a day early.
Yeah, exactly.
You can be a day early. you
Which
can't
we
be a day late.
celebrate for 3 days in a row. So there you go.
That's awesome.
Anyway, that's all I had.
Congratulations.
That's remarkable.
That's a feat. That's cool. I just have a few things. I had a meeting with Brandon Burke from Cedar City and Ryan Paul. He's a historian at SUU now. Just working on some events kind of for the October time. We're working on a kind of a haunted downtown thing. So in Kingman, Arizona, a couple of years ago, they've got one that's put on by their local children's theater. And there's these different walks that you go downtown to, and it does a couple of things. It benefits the children's theater. It's kind of a fundraiser, but they also work with downtown merchants to kind of highlight their businesses and tell ghost stories and introduce downtown businesses. And so I brought that back and talked to Brandon when he became the events coordinator for Cedar City. And he thought it was a great idea. And then, Ryan Paul's kind of if there's anybody that knows the history of downtown, and so we're working together, and we're going to work together with, some local businesses to get people downtown.
Is it going to be October 31st or around that?
You know what? We've kicked some different dates around. We're trying to figure it out there's so much going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right there.
Hard to-
I don't know that we've nailed down a date, but we met just to try and kind of get that started and
Oh, that's
try
fun.
to put that together.
Yeah.
It's just something to get people downtown. So I met with Shakespeare. They had their opening this last week. They've got a couple of on the business side and the analytics side. They've got 3 new programs this year that dive deeper into where their patrons are coming from, and that's a big help with economic development. They've been such a great partner the last several years. Anything that they're able to, all of the information that they're able to data mine, they share with us.
Oh, nice.
As specifically with Maria. We've actually gone in on a couple of different programs, with our TRT and TRCC. We've helped fund some of that software. And so there's a really great partnership between Shakespeare, David Johnson at the city, and Maria. Danny Stewart still got his hands in that with the port. And there's just been some really great collaboration there to share that data so that we can work on economic development, tourism, hotel, restaurant. It's been really cool, but they've got some different things going. They've got 3 new programs that are actually going to be able to delve a lot deeper. So that's going to be really beneficial. On the conference center discussion, we're just trying to identify property. That would be good. We've got some funding. We've got some money set aside and has been since before COVID. We're trying to identify some property and at least maybe be able to acquire some property because prices keep going up. Get that. So Maria and John and I met with Rob Cottle the other day to look at some different pieces of property, and that's moving forward. Had the first annual Canaroville Fire Department fundraising mutton fry. I got sucked into making potatoes and with Tyler Allred, Ben Batty, Cameron Douglas, Robbie Masterson. What's Blackburn's first name?
Mister.
Mr. Blackburn on the Canaryville Fire Department. I could tell you if I wasn't asking. Anyway, they took care of all the setup and the brisket. Want to thank Ray Masterson and Mark Orton and I. We cut up a lot of potatoes and we cooked lots of potatoes. It was really successful. They raised about just under $5,000, $4,900 and some change in that couple of hours. Served mutton, brisket, mountain lion, and venison, and all the sides.
Lion is very good.
And the mountain lion was good.
It's very good.
Yeah,
Tastes like a pork chop.
tastes like a pork chop. So that was really successful. It's good to support the fire guys around the county. I've said it before, but the Fire Chiefs Association in Iron County is so strong, and those Chief Benson from Bryan Head and his family were there to support. There was firefighters from Cedar City and all over the county that were there to help support. They really do support each other on those things. It's pretty cool to watch. On Saturday, we had our Children's Justice Center annual fun run fundraiser. Again, super successful. Everybody had a great time. After the fact, I went and walked through the CJC, see where we are with that build, and it's getting really close. I think they were supposed to start the over-X on the parking lot today.
Mm-hmm. I ran over and the parking lot needs help. That
Well,
beautiful building and then the parking lot.
I took
it's awful.
one of the Camrys over there, and I was a little worried about bottoming out.
Oh yeah.
But they'll improve it, I'm sure.
Oh,
Well, we were leaving the fun run, and Wendy Jessen said, "Hey, do you want to go check out the building?" I said, "Yeah, jump in." And she's like, "Here, I'll just jump on the running board of your trucks." I'm like, "Are you sure?" So Wendy was hanging on the side of my truck.
my God.
Your life.
Made her get in to come
seems-
back down.
Yeah. That doesn't seem like very safe.
Oh, but it's good. The cabinets are in. The flooring isn't quite all in.
Beautiful building.
It's beautiful.
Really is.
It's gonna serve our kids really well for a long time. I want to shout out to one of our employees, to Thane Hainsworth. That guy is working his butt off.
Yeah.
So Council on Aging, Thane has kind of taken that over. That wasn't one of our buildings that was in the maintenance routine, but we found out we were paying a lot of money, and the maintenance wasn't getting done very well. Lawn mowing, some sprinkler issues, and Thane has completely taken that on. He's been a huge help at the fairgrounds.
He is amazing. I went over there the one day to check on the facade that we're doing, and all the lawns were dead. I mean, they were yellow. And I'm like, what is happening? Because only just a couple of weeks before that I'd been there and they were great. And I guess what had happened is, in changing over our people that have been working on the fairgrounds, the lawns and that, all of a bunch of the heads were gone. And so he went and got a water truck to put more water on, and has been working to get those. I can't even say enough about that.
I was there this morning, and they look really good.
Oh yeah. He has got them, and they were dead. I'm not kidding you. It was awful.
Yeah.
I appreciate he's been really collaborative with us when
So
I
good
have an
here,
issue.
too, isn't he?
He'll step right up and
Yeah.
work with me or take
that was
care
a
of it.
really, really good move.
It's been awesome having a
Bring
go-to
him
guy where
on.
you can just,
It's just
do anything.
Unbelievable.
Trust him.
He's been doing a lot at the CJC. He called me the other morning, like at 7. He's like, "Hey, the lawnmower at the Council on Aging is dead." He's like, "Is there any way we could buy another one?" Absolutely, Thane. He's like, "I found a good deal on one at Ace." Go, yes, Thane.
Go get it.
Go get the- He's like, it's not that expensive. It's only a couple $100. Go buy the lawnmower thing,
Oh,
please.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
no,
he is worth his weight in gold. I'm not kidding you.
well, I went to their morning briefing staff meeting at building department the other day, and Thane's usually there. They're like, he was here for like 5 minutes, and then he's like, if you guys
Busy.
don't need me, he's like, I got stuff to do. And so he'd
I
already
think we're
taken off.
I think we're overwhelming him actually.
Yeah, we're going to need to address that.
Yeah.
We can't keep this pace up, but
Yeah, but man, he's doing a good job.
he's doing a great job.
Well, and I would suggest be careful because he will just come in on weekends and work. So
So I know. He's called me
He
at
has.
he's called
Well,
me
he
at
had to with the fairgrounds because it was. We
he's
were
called
afraid
me
we-
at 7 or 8 at night a couple of times. I'm like, go home, Thane.
What are you doing?
Well, it was during the switch over of director at Council on Aging, where he was checking locks and checking, some security stuff, but yeah, he was
Oh,
he
yeah.
was right on top of it. So
He is
yeah,
amazing.
super. I just really appreciate Thane. That's all I've got. So we've got about 10 minutes. Go sign Carrie's papers because I'm afraid of her.
Oh, yeah.
Say that every 2
Better
weeks.
get over there.
Get those things taken care of, and we'll be back at 10 o'clock.
About ready to go.
We up and going? All right, welcome back. Today's Monday, the 24th of June, 2024. This is our 10 o'clock calendar. Well, I got to get logged back in. In commission comments a minute ago, I mentioned Thane at the working when I was in that morning meeting with the building department as well. They were going over some of their statistics as far as what they had been accomplishing for building inspections. And Nate and Chelsea have also just been kicking butt. Terry, he gets no praise, that guy.
I know.
He's off today. He was going to be here today, but he's off.
Oh, is
No,
he?
they've really stepped up. They've been so busy.
They've been
Like, we
very
keep
busy.
waiting for the numbers to tank.
Yep.
And
They don't.
They don't. They've just been getting busier and busier.
Yeah.
So that's the most entertaining staff meeting
Is it?
to attend. Yes.
They are very efficient. They're doing a lot of work.
Yeah, they're good. Yes. What's the new office manager's name?
Oh,
I have a mental block.
I haven't met
No, the new one they hired?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Crystal.
Crystal.
It's right on the tip. No, Crystal's fitting in really well, and she's doing really well, assimilating into that office.
Good.
They-
I haven't
they've-
met her yet either. I'll have to run in there.
She's nice. Yeah, she's doing a great job. So
Cool.
yeah, appreciate all those guys. All right. Agenda item number 1, public comments. 3-minute time limit with the usual rules. If we have any public comments this morning. Seeing none, we will go to agenda item number 2, discussion and possible approval of a grant for Color Country OHV trail maintenance equipment, materials, and supplies. I'll turn the time over to Mike Worthen.
Okay, thank you, Commissioners. This grant is with the Utah Outdoor Recreation folks with the DNR, or not DNR. Yeah.
Yeah. DNR.
Anyway, it is for maintenance of the OHV trails and also to purchase a Mini-X to help maintain those trails. And it is for
$36,585.
And the road department has agreed to help out a little bit on that, and they'll use it probably quite a bit of the time. Anyway, the rest of it is for just maintenance, purchase of some tools for a seasonal employee over the next 2 years, and that's about it.
Great.
How big of a machine is that?
It's a 306. It's just kind of a mid-sized Mini-X.
Hmm.
And it has a 6-way blade on it.
So the Mac Urey, the trail guys that do a lot of trail work, do you work with them much?
No, I haven't.
don't?
He's a mower over in Garfield County, isn't he?
No. Mac Urey is he's a home builder. Urico Construction. But he does a lot of maintenance and trail work. They build new trails. I'm trying to think of their club. They do a ton of trails around.
Bike trails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
bike trails.
They've done the bike trails up above Cedar City.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They build them, and I think he has a little track hole that he uses, and they do a lot of
I
hand
think
work.
he's got a little trail dozer, too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right.
Very
Is
good.
there a motion?
I would move for approval of a grant for the Color Country OHV trail maintenance equipment, materials, and supplies for $136,585.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
One thing on this, I've got a form here, and the gal that does the grants up there, they want to have these e-signs so they can get them and e-sign them to the director, then send it back to us. And so I told her that you folks had not received the e-signature on that. So I asked her to send one to you, Commissioner,
Okay.
and then you can sign it when it gets here, just e-sign it and send it back to her. But I asked her
That
if she
just
wanted.
today?
Hey, I wrote her this morning and asked if she could get it here today.
All right. Do you know who that will come from?
Maureen Casper.
Okay.
Could we make sure I get a copy of that one before you're done?
Yeah, and when they what they'll do is take it back and have the director sign it. Then it'll be in ready to go, and then they'll send me a copy, and I'll make sure you got a copy too, John.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I haven't got it yet, but I'll keep an eye out for it
Okay, I'll look at
check
it too, and
periodically.
if I get it out first, I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Mike.
Mike. Turn the time over to Reed Erickson for number 3, which is a ratification of omission for approved county ordinance 2024-4, adopting and or modifying section 17.36.135 Waterwise Landscaping Standards, section 17.84.010 definitions, and chapter 16.40 landscaping standards. It better be more than you left like an and out after that mouthful.
Oh, thank you, Commissioner. Good morning. It was a left out sentence, a whole sentence
Okay.
that says, in addition, there shall be no lawn in landscape areas less than 8 feet in width and no lawn in park strips. That much. We had put that language in the section above on residential developments, but we had omitted it from the commercial, industrial, and institutional multifamily developments. So when the state reviewed that, they said it doesn't qualify for the turf buyback because that needs to be in all new development, regardless of the zoning, and therefore it was our intention to have that language required in the county because that was a requirement of the code. We simply copied Cedar City's ordinance that had made those changes, only to find out later that they had modified theirs. We hadn't gotten the most current version, and therefore we were going off of a version that needed to be corrected as well. So anyway, it's the apply online, but because we don't have an ordinance that provides for this, we don't qualify. So we've told people that we've had 2 inquiries specifically that wanted to use the turf buyback, and we've said as soon as we can get this ordinance approved, then we can qualify.
So the language read, and I apologize, I missed last time, but so the language is basically what the state requires in order to get this program. So when we say anything, you can't have anything less than 8. So let's say you landscape your yard and you have some curb, you have some bigger areas of lawn, and it necks down to under 8 feet. But
it's 50% grass is all.
Yeah, it's in combination. There's a lawn area that in the front and rear yards,
they're not going to get so nitpicky if you're doing a design in your yard and it next to smaller than 8 feet in an area. They're not.
No.
And the whole issue with these kind of things is who's going to police them, right? It's
the idea is that we have this ordinance in place so people can qualify for the turf buyback, but we're responsible to enforce that on new development when we review a plan, a site plan, when we get a building permit or a commercial development, and we now review the landscaping plan, which we have not done up till now. We've just do the building permit. We haven't reviewed landscaping because we haven't had a landscaping ordinance. So this is just a minimum that the state requires in order for people to qualify. It's the same language that was approved by Cedar City and Enoch. They have these ordinances in place in order for a citizen to qualify in the end.
I mean, it's not going to be very restrictive if you have a big, an acre lot or.
Yeah,
I mean,
a larger lot.
Yeah.
In the front and rear and the side yard is what the 50%.
And most people don't have that much anyway. Yeah, because it'd be only 50%.
We had
of
that
part.
discussion at the Planning Commission. They were concerned about that too, and how it affect larger parcels. Our representative from Newcastle brought that concern. And when we read the language and saw what areas that it was in and how it worked, then he felt like that it was good.
Do you anticipate a lot of pushback or not on this?
I haven't had any calls or any concerns about it, but I guess if we get some, we can review it and see if we feel like
We need to
it's something that we
modify
don't want to
something.
allow people to qualify for. We'd have to modify it.
You know what's interesting is I've knocked a lot of doors in my campaigns, and I've seen some of the most beautiful yards I've seen are xeriscape.
Mhm.
I mean, rather than
Xeriscaping
just
can
a
be
big old
done
patch of
really
grass,
nice.
the
Amen.
xeriscape landscaping that I've seen in knocking doors is absolutely gorgeous. And
This is essentially a request of the Central Iron County Water Conservancy District that because Enoch and Cedar City has done this, the areas in the unincorporated area that are in that metro, community have this same opportunity and can benefit by the state's incentive to take some of that sod out and put xeriscaping in that can be more water-wise. So it's a water-wise ordinance. It's really not a landscaping ordinance. Our intention isn't to regulate landscaping. It's just to have the minimum requirements so people can qualify for the turf.
well, one of my concerns is that if we don't do this and show that we're willing to, we might be
Conserve.
giving up some rights, but if we're not willing to conserve and do our part, I'm not sure the state is going to play ball with us on grants and some things if we
You
don't
know, that's
show
one of
that.
the comments that the Central Iron County Water Conservancy District made is that, it's an attitude of government trying to be supportive of our area being more water-wise.
And Joel Ferry with the DNR has been great, but he made a comment that, hey, you guys got to do everything you can, and this is part of that,
It is.
to show that you're willing to do your part. So.
Yeah, that's what the Planning Commission felt as well, and so we don't believe that this left-out sentence is enough to run it back through the whole system again. It was just an oversight in the portion of the code that was left out, because that same language exists in the other portion of the code,
Yeah.
just not in the commercial, so.
That makes
So,
sense.
Reed, have you heard of pushback from folks in Enoch or Cedar that have adopted this?
No, I haven't heard anything. And I asked Jessica from Central Iron County Water Conservancy and Candace Shively, who used to work for the county
District.
extension, now is the person over this at the state. And I haven't heard of any problems. She's the one that reviewed it and said, "Oh, you guys missed it, putting it in the commercial." So,
Well, and you go down 200 North, like a lot of those businesses, and they do have that narrow strip of grass,
5 foot,
and
4
they
or
have
5
water
foot.
going everywhere. They water it all the time, and it really makes sense to get rid
You
of a
need
lot
to
of that.
pull mine out.
And
Reed
thi- and this
doesn't
is
have it in his.
Just
down
in
the street.
Of course. And that was one of the questions and concerns, is that this is just new development. This
Right.
is not retroactive to any existing landscaping. Anything that anybody has in is just fine. It's only as we review new projects and new developments.
But it could help those that are
Absolutely.
existing with
Yeah.
a $1.50
With-
credit to help them change it to xeriscape.
Sure. They could get paid to take that sod out of that narrow park strip.
Area.
Right. Okay.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank
Well-
you.
I'll move to approve the ratification of a mission for approved county ordinance 2024-4, adopting and or modifying section 17.36.135 water-wise landscaping standards, section 17.84.010 definitions, and chapter 16.40 landscaping standards.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Done.
Appreciate you doing that.
Agenda item number 4, discussion and possible approval of a monument replacement and restoration committee grant presented by Carrie.
Hi.
Hi.
All right, so yeah, I'm just here to get approval for my grant. This year it is for $28,230. And I don't know, do you guys have any questions? It's the same one that I've done the last 2 years.
How many monuments are you placing?
It depends on how much money they give us. This year it was less than they have the previous years.
I thought that
yeah.
it was less.
And these are the section corners, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Last year I think we did about 70.
Wow.
I don't know how many
Wow.
they'll get
That's
done
really
That's a
good.
lot.
with this.
Probably
yeah.
won't get half that much.
Yeah, so last year I think we had about 46,000, and then every year I put 10,000 in my budget just to, so
Help
that
with
even if I
that.
don't get the grant, we have a little bit of money to do some work. And I have that 10,000 this year too. So
Said it before, but I spent half my youth searching those for those stupid things. We're surveying with my dad out in the trees.
yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's nice if they're there. It helps a lot.
Right. I did talk to the surveyor that we contract with Ensign Engineering to do the work, and I talked to him a week or so ago, and he said that most of the monuments they are finding, they've only had to replace 2, so most of them are there. But it's good because they go out and of course find it, and then they give me a tie sheet that I have in my office, but I also put online that gives the exact coordinates and has pictures and everything, so it's really easy for the surveyors to find them.
Cool.
And how does that get ultimately to Kendall's World?
Well, we are working really hard actually right now with
I know you guys.
the state. So as part of this grant, of course, all of that information gets sent to the state also. And then Kendall pulls the PLSS information from the state. However, they're currently not updating that information. We had a meeting about a month or so ago, and they have agreed to start working on it, and they're going to start with Iron County, which we appreciate. And we are also going to try and get the BLM involved so that we can get all of their monuments correctly on that map. Because obviously,
They have the most.
yeah, well, we want them to be in the right spot. Because when we're drawing parcels, if we're drawing them not from the right spot, then your property's not actually exactly where it's showing on the map. So we're working on it. Kendall's, of course, as always, a great help.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's probably why they agreed to start with Iron County, because we
Kendall's
have that
so
support
awesome.
from Kendall.
I know.
So it's really nice.
Motion?
Sure.
I would move for approval of a monument replacement and restoration committee grant, 28,230. Is that what you said?
Mhm.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Done. I'll make sure I put, so I can make sure I put it on the right place.
Line.
Carrie, could you get a copy to Chanel? Thanks. Super helpful.
Moving on to personnel.
Good morning.
Morning.
Mason Davis was selected from the most recent competitive recruiting and interview process to backfill the vacant full-time road technician 2 position, effective June 24th, 2024. And in the fair department, Caitlin Bryan was selected from the most recent competitive recruiting and interview process to backfill the vacant part-time fair marketing administrative assistant position, effective 6/12 of 2024.
All right.
I'll move to approve personnel A and B as described by Jennifer.
Second?
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
I do have a non-delegated item. County
Oh.
boards.
Okay.
Gary Dahlman has served a number of terms on our restaurant tax board, and according to the bylaws of that organization, his term has expired. One of the things that one of the requirements to serve on that board is you have to be in the restaurant business, either an owner or a manager of a restaurant, in order to serve on that board. Don Jersey, who we know from Shakespeare, recently purchased a restaurant here in Parowan. I assume it's public knowledge now. Everybody kind of knows, a lot of folks. Don and his family purchased Calvario's down here. They've run. If you
I
notice-
just heard it had shut down and everybody was mad.
well, so they've run the Rolling Stoves food truck, which has been down here on Holyoke Lane for a while. They've been looking to expand into a restaurant and just kind of waiting to figure that out. The Calvario's location came available, and they purchased that and are going to move the food truck operation into the restaurant. I've talked to him several times about it. They're kind of going to keep the hometown flair, add some new menu items and figure that out. They're looking at, I think, doing kind of a soft opening starting here pretty quick, and they're going to do that for a few months to kind of get everything figured out. We reached out to Don to see if he'd be willing to serve on that board, and he agreed to do so. Strangely enough, it's hard to get folks to serve on that board. There are not a lot of willing people. They're just
busy.
They're just
They're
really
busy
busy
people.
Yeah, absolutely. The restaurant business is super busy, so we really appreciate the folks that take the time to serve on that board. And again, Don's really the analytics guy at the festival, and I think will bring a lot of insight to that board. So I would ask that we could approve Don Jersey as a member of the restaurant tax board.
So I need to make a motion.
Sure.
I will make a motion to approve Don Jersey for the restaurant board.
Second?
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Have you got your little thing for the closed session?
Do you need a closed session?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
We do.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't typed that up. Okay.
The motion would be made under section 205(1)(c) for pending or reasonably imminent litigation.
2051C.
Correct.
C, pending or reasonably imminent litigation. I'll get that typed up.
Okay, I will move into closed session in section 2051C for pending or imminent litigation. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second?
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We'll move from here to closed session. I threw my glasses on the floor. Hold on. That's a problem. This is a problem. Yeah, we went this conference. We went to New Orleans last year.
Cool.
This is the last year that Amy has to go. So
You're streaming.
we going? All right, we're back in session. Monday, the 24th of June. We've just come out of closed session. We don't need a motion to come out of closed session, do we?
You have to declare.
Just declare it closed, right? So we're going to declare that closed session ended and closed. If there's no other business, we will declare this meeting adjourned.
So